So now let's see again another problem in case of Walters model. Here again, three companies are given: X Limited, Y Limited, as well as Z Limited. So now X Limited, what is the value given is R 20%, K 15%, and E 8. So which means and R is greater than K, which means the first firm X is a growing firm or growth firm we call it as. Then Y Limited, R and K both 15%, which means it's a normal firm, and E value again the EPS value is 8. And Z Limited, if you check R value 10% and K value is 15, which means return is less than the cost, which means it's a declining firm. So now calculate the value of an equity share for each of these companies by applying Walters model when dividend payout ratio is 40%, 70%, and 90%. So now this is the formula which I have shown in the previous slide also. Like this is the formula to calculate what you call as the Walters model formula. So P0 equal to dividend plus EPS minus dividend into R by K, the whole divided by K. So now if we apply this formula, we'll calculate for all the each firm for all the different payout ratios we need to calculate. So first let us take what you call as the company. Just a second. We'll calculate for company X. So for company X, if you want to calculate, see you can see here the 40%, when payout ratio is 40%, what is the dividend value? So dividend value, how to calculate is, see here the dividend is not given in the what you call as the exact dividend rate is not given, because for depending upon the dividend payout ratio, the value of the dividend per share varies. So now as far as when payout ratio is 40%, so which means EPS is 8, in EPS 8, 40% if you want to find out 8 into 40 by 100. So which means dividend per share is 3.20. Similarly, for the next payout ratio is 70. So everything I'm talking about company X point of view. So now when dividend payout ratio is 70%, which means in 8 rupees, 70%, 8 into 70 by 100 is 5.60. Similarly, when dividend payout ratio is 90, so then the dividend ratio is, that is the dividend per share is 7.2. That is 8 into 90 divided by 100. We will be getting 7.20. So these are all the different dividend per share depending upon the dividend payout ratio. Now we need to apply all these values in the formula. P equal to dividend is 3.20 plus R by K. R by K is either they may, in some problem they may use interchangeably, no issues. So that's not a problem. Either EPS minus dividend into R by K or R by K multiplied with EPS minus dividend, both are same. R is 20%, that is 0.20 divided by K value 0.15 into 8. 8 is nothing but EPS minus dividend 3.20. The whole divided by K again 0.15. So if we simplify this one, the value what we are getting is 64. So we'll check whether we are getting the same answers. So first we'll multiply, we'll divide 0.20 divided by 0.15. So we are getting 1.33. Now 8 minus 3.20 is 4.8. Should be multiplied with 1.33. We'll be getting 6.384. With that, we need to add 3.20. With this value, you have to divide with 0.15. So it means 63.89. That can be rounded up to 64 rupees. In the same way, we have to do it for when payout ratio is 70%, which means here P equal to dividend here is 5.60 plus again R by K, the same value into EPS 8 minus here the dividend per share is 5.60, the whole divided by K. In that case, the price of the share is 58.67. So the next thing is when the dividend is 7.20, that is what you call as 90% payout ratio. So P equal to 7.20 plus the same procedure R by K into EPS minus dividend, the whole divided by K. So in that case, what you call as the share price of the company is 55.11. So as far as X Limited is concerned, it's a growth firm. Why? Because the return is more than the cost. So which means it is a growing firm or growth firm. The best or optimum payout ratio is the best or optimum payout ratio is what you call as a 0. Okay, when the dividend payout ratio is 0, then automatically what you call as the share price of the company will increase. Now if you check here, when dividend is 3.20, it is 64. When dividend increases, the share price comes down. So similarly, you see here, when dividend is 7.20, the share price again coming down. This proves the relevance theory of Walters model. That is, when depending upon the dividend decision, the share price of the company also changes here. So since it is a growing firm, 100%, what do you call it as a retention should be there. So which means the company should not give dividend. Then only they can achieve the optimum. That is the optimum dividend policy or dividend payout ratio as far as growing firm is concerned. So even if they reduce this 40% to 20, then definitely the share price will increase. Even if they convert this to zero, so which means what happens? The dividend becomes zero. So let's check here what happens if dividend is zero in this case. So if dividend is zero, so which means this instead of this one, the dividend will become zero. So then R by K, which means 0.2 divided by 0.15. So you'll be getting 1.33. So with that, you have to multiply 8 minus here dividend is 0. So just multiply with 8. So you'll be getting 10.667. The whole divided by 0.15. So which means 71.11. When dividend is 0, the value of the share or price of the share as far as X Limited is concerned is 71.11. So that is what proved. Relevance theory is proved with this. The similar way we have to do it for company Y as well as company Z, the next two companies. Here also you can see here the dividend amount same. Only difference here is the R value and K value changes. Both in the cases, R value and K value is same. Similarly, if you check here for company Z, the same here, you can see R value as well as K value is different. R value is 0.10 and K value is 0.15. Even in case of Y, if you check, sorry, company Y, if you check, whatever may be the dividend, when the dividend is 3.20, when the dividend is 5.6, or when the dividend is 7.20, the share price remains same. This shows when R equal to K, the dividend optimum dividend payout ratio for that is not applicable as far as when R is equal to K. Whereas if you see the third form, that is the Z, the next form. So whereas here R value is less than the K value, the return is less than the K, so which means it's a declining form. So 100% payout is the optimum payout ratio. So first you check here, when dividend is 3.20, the share price is 42. When dividend rate increased, the share price you can see here 48. When dividend is 7.20, then the what you call as share price is 51.5. So let us check what will happen if dividend is 100% as far as the third company is concerned. So 100% dividend means the dividend per share is also 8. So which means 8 plus 0.10 by 0.15 into 8 minus 8. So which means 8 minus 8, this becomes 0. Once it becomes 0, this part will become 0. So which means 8 divided by 0.15. We check what is the value here. 8 divided by 0.15. The value is 53.33. So when dividend is 100%, the share price increased to 53.33%. So that is why the relevant theory is proved here. For X company, it's a growth firm. When R equal to K, therefore, to maximize the share price, the company needs to retain all its earnings. Otherwise, the price will decline. So as far as company X is concerned, it's a growing firm. So the company should retain everything. The dividend should be 0. Then only the share price can be increased. Whereas Y Limited, it's a normal firm, R equal to K. So there is the optimum payout ratio does not play an important role as far as the share price is concerned. Whereas when Z equal to Z company, it's a declining firm. The rate is less than the cost of capital. That is, R is less than the cost. So that therefore, to maximize the market price of share, the company should distribute all its earnings as a dividend. So the value of share is increasing when we increase the payout ratio from 40% to 90%. So this is proved by Walter's model, that is dividend relevance theory. Then the same thing we can prove with the help of this problem also. From the following information, calculate the market value of share using Walter's model. EPS is given 5, dividend per share is 5, return on investment R value is given 10, and cost of capital, that is K, is equal to 10. So from this we can infer that R and K value is same, so which means it's a normal firm. Optimum payout ratio for is not possible as far as this is concerned. Now what we need to find out is, will there be any change in the market value of the equity share if dividend payout ratio is 100% in the place of present rate of 60%? So now what we can do is, using Walter's model, the market value of share can be calculated as, that is P or V. So depending upon the symbol we can use, that's not an issue. So V plus D is dividend per share plus EPS minus dividend into R by K, the whole divided by K. R, that is D dividend per share is the 3 that is given in the problem, plus E minus D, that is earnings per share 5 minus dividend per share 3 into R by K 0.10 divided by 0.10, the whole divided by 1. So we need to simplify. 0.10 divided by 0.10 means 1. 1 into 5 minus 3 is 2. 1 into 2 is 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 divided by 0.10. 5 divided by 0.10 is 50 rupees. So if dividend payout ratio is 100%, for example, this is as per the present condition, the share price. Okay, the present condition, the share price is this much amount. Now, when company increase the dividend percentage to dividend payout ratio to 100%, so which means from the earnings is also 5, dividend per share also will become 5 because the entire earnings they want to distribute as a dividend. So in that case, what will happen to the share price? We'll check here. So which means dividend per share 5 plus EPS minus dividend 5 minus 5 into R by K 0.10 by 0.10. That is 1. Then here it becomes 0. 0 into 1 is 0 plus 5, which means 5 divided by 0.10. So that is equal to 50. So which means since it's a normal form, R is equal to K, there is no change in the market value because of the return on investment is equal to cost of capital. This is case of normal company. Dividend payout ratio has no bearing on the value of the share. That is why dividend policy is irrelevant in such cases. So this is about Walter's model as far as R is equal to K. That is a normal form point of view concern. The next we can check here. This is again next type of problem.